Hello my case queens and fellow non-binary leaders, and welcome back to Nerdy Nekoma. This is part 4 of Dizzing Encounter. The same content warnings as before apply, so please check those out before you watch this. Though, I assume if you're here in part 4, you have already watched the other parts. Still, I think the reminder is important. So now, let's get started.
Aaron kept Sakusa closely by his side as they navigated the hospital floor. The raven had pulled his hood deep into his face, with his mask covering most of it, and didn't look up from the floor once. It wasn't until he saw him out of bed that Aaron noticed how unstable he was. His steps were uncoordinated, his body was taken by the occasional shiver, and he stumbled forward as if he couldn't control his limbs entirely. The other kept close to him at all times to stabilize him if need be. His heart ached at the sight. It was Kita who had urged him to get a test done after he noticed something off about their partner. Sakusa hadn't even mentioned getting drugged yet, but seeing him now, Aaron had no doubt, as he seemed to have lost all his usual grace and athletic precision. The MSBY ace had gotten quiet again after his initial outburst in Kita's arms. His gaze seemed almost empty and he flinched away from everyone getting too close, save for his partner. He hadn't been able to give a blood sample without his panic spiking drastically, but they assured them that a urine sample would suffice. They were on their way back to pick up the results, though Aaron already knew them, and he felt nauseous seeing it in effect. Someone brushed against Kiyomi while rushing past, and immediately, uncoordinated and dazed, but suddenly full of alarm, the other jumped back and collided with Aaron, who caught him. He hesitantly slung an arm around his middle to stabilize him and let out a breath of relief when the other relaxed a bit. Encouraged, he pulled Kiyomi even tighter to his side as they proceeded, shielding him. He could feel the tense, hidden panic in his posture, the cut-off breaths he tried to stifle, the winds getting caught in his throat.
We're almost there. We'll be home soon again. We'll keep you safe.
That seemed to work, and the taller felt like crying. Kiyomi wasn't usually that responsive in public. He didn't like PDA. He preferred to keep a composed mask and only drop it when in the privacy of their home. Still, he gifted them the occasional smile that broke through. Kiyomi was stoic but so gentle in a way few saw. He was so composed out of necessity, and it was so healing seeing him let go of that bit by bit. This wasn't that. Someone had forcefully stripped down his ability to maintain the mask. They had stolen his autonomy and control. The hand digging into the fabric of his sleeve was balled into a fist, trembling with panicked tension. Aaron pulled him closer, pressing a kiss to his hood where his temple would be to reassure Kiyomi that he was here with him in every way he needed. He picked up the results but didn't open them yet, while guiding them back outside as soon as possible. They called in ahead to discuss the nature of the test and how to get it done as quickly and discreetly as possible. This way, they managed to quickly be on their way home again, hopefully undiscovered. Sakusa's head rested against the window and he stared outside, unseeing. It didn't feel like the other was truly there with him, yet when Aaron stopped at a combini to pick up a few items, including Sakusa's favorites, and anything he could think of to make him feel more comfortable, his head suddenly snapped up, and his hand grabbed onto his arm tightly. Aaron's heart jumped in his chest as he looked up, and was met with a panicked intensity in Sakusa's eyes. A silent plea lay on his now trembling lips as he practically begged him to stay.
Hey, shh, it's okay. I'll be right back. I'm just grabbing some essentials and your favorites, okay?
Sakusa nodded very slowly, and even more hesitantly loosened his grip. Aaron gently took his hand and soothed the tense muscles before leaning forward to kiss Kiyomi's forehead in reassurance. His eyes were shut tightly as he leaned into the touch, and visibly struggled to keep his breathing calm. His heart broke seeing him so scared, and he waited until the tension had seeped off him before stepping out. Yet, just as he was about to close the door, a choked cry came from the inside, and Kiyomi's hand almost caught in the door as he reached for him again in blind panic. Immediately, Aaron paused and opened it again. He caught a few glances from bystanders and quickly jumped back into the car before they could stress his partner out more. Kiyomi, are you okay? The other was trembling violently now, visibly fighting for control. His grip on his arm became painful and his knuckles turned white. Sorry. Please don't leave. He forced the words out, always looking down, and still Aaron noticed how green he looked in his face. His lips were pressed together tightly until they had lost all color. Cold sweat accumulated all over his skin. His breath came in short, cut-off bursts as he tried to hold it to regain control, but ended up gasping for air instead. Okay. It's okay. I'll bring you home. You'll be safe, don't worry. I'm right here. I won't leave. Don't apologize. You have every right to request everything that makes you feel even a little better. He saw the guilt in Sakusa's eyes before the other could verbalize it, and before he could sink into it deeper, he had turned the car around and, while still stabilizing Kiyomi with one hand, worked on bringing them home safely. Do you want to be here when we look at the results? Sakusa shook his head. He had returned to being mostly apathetic as Aaron guided him inside and now climbed back upstairs numbly. Atsumu watched after him, pained. And were they able to find something? He looked to Kita, who carefully opened the envelope with the results Aaron had handed him. The ace leaned against the wall, equally as tense, and staring at the envelope as though he meant to burn a hole through it. Kita nodded slowly as he read it, and Atsumu felt like throwing up. Yes. It's a common date rape drug. He is not supposed to drink any alcohol or take any sedatives for the next couple of days. We need to manage the symptoms as they come. Psychological support is advised as well, as a more thorough examination should the patient suspect that something worse might have happened as a result. It was very silent following Kita's explanation of the medical note. Minutes ticked by without a word being spoken in a house that usually was never quiet. Atsumu's hands were trembling despite his best efforts to keep them still. What now? What if worse did happen? What do we do? He could feel himself panicking and helplessly stared at his former captain, pleading for guidance. Kita carefully returned the notes and results back into the envelope and folded it up neatly. We'll go at his pace. This is all we can do. Only Kiyomi knows if there is a risk that something happens. Only Kiyomi can determine our next step. Atsumu gulped, and as he looked up to Aaron, he saw the ace looking to him with the same desperation. It was like the air around them was thinning, like it was running out, and he failed to fill his lungs properly on each breath. I will inform Coach Foster of the results. This way, we can hopefully avoid Kiyomi having to do another drug test because of those wretched articles. Other than that, I think we should stay home for now. Order in, not go out. We lay low until the public interest has faded and make sure Kyo has all he needs to get better. At that, they both nodded determinedly in affirmation. Atsumu caught Kita's hand trembling as he reached for his phone, and something cold had darkened his eyes as he stared into the distance while lifting it to his ear. He counted himself lucky never to have been the target of the utter disdain the other failed to hide, as it grew for whoever hurt their partner. Can you grab me a shirt from the closet? Sure. The old Inarizaki one okay? Yeah, that's fine. The voices were muted as they carefully navigated the evening routine around the bed in which Kiyomi slept soundly. The spiker had curled up tightly enough for it to look uncomfortable, and still looked rather pale. A bowl had been placed next to the bed to avoid the worst, should he end up feeling nauseous again. He shivered, and Atsumu frowned before pulling out an additional blanket from the upper compartment. Kita stepped out of the bathroom and eyed the fabric with mild curiosity. He sighed. His temperature regulation always gets so much worse when stressed. To this assumption, his hand was freezing when he held it after tugging the wool blanket over him on top of the light sheets. He gently traced the back of his hand with his thumb. Suddenly, Kiyomi jolted awake, scrambling to get away from Atsumu, who in turn flinched and took a step back. The spiker's eyes were wide with panic, and his chest rose and fell with hectic, uneven breaths. Kiyomi, shh, it's just us. No one else. No one that would ever hurt you. Atsumu nodded mutely, tears gathering in his eyes as he watched his partner's fear grow until he sobbed into his pillow, shivering all over. Helplessly, he exchanged a glance with Eren when Kita stepped forward. The surveyor had rushed in at the commotion and was now approaching the injured slowly with a worried frown. Kiyomi, where are you right now?
Thank you so much for watching to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm so sorry for my prolonged absence. Full transparency, I'm not really doing great right now. This is why I struggle to make videos, among other things, and I don't know for how much longer this will continue. I have been facing a couple of health issues. University is getting very time-consuming again. So I'm very sorry that for now, uploads will be a little bit less frequent. I still hope you can support me throughout this. If you want, you can just watch my videos. That would already help so much. And a special thanks goes to my nerdy neckos who keep on supporting me even when I currently cannot offer a lot in return. I'm still reading every single one of your comments, even if I don't have the energy to reply to them. So thank you all. It really means a lot to me.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.